the Ville and I move like a dime. Eating fettuccine at Vincenzo's. Me and my amigos got that free on the West Coast. Yeah, I'm talking about dark hair, look like she go. She do. Hometown hero, feeling myself, can't my ego. She heard of my, she said, babe, does it does. Certified hang around dust and she learning my lingo. Back then, wasn't worried about me though. In the gym, trying to work on my free throw. Spending money at the club like Sam's. Yes, ma'am. She a little, but she don't put.
And those are the starting lineups. Lots of interesting matchups tonight. Stick around. We'll be right back with more. It's that time of the year. Happy holidays, everyone, from 2K Sports as we get set to bring you some mid-season NBA action. Hi, everyone. Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony. We have David Aldridge on our sideline. And our special guest tonight, welcoming in Kenny the Jet Smith.
Oh, Kevin, man, great to be here. I hate being up in that studio sometimes. I love it down here,
we
man.
We need you courtside.
Oh,
we
man,
need you
it feels
courtside.
so much better being with you guys and them other two.
Hey, Dave.
Kevin, thank you. Houston now has a star pairing with Russell Westbrook and James Harden. Harden said of his longtime friend, his athleticism and ability to draw attention opens the floor for our team. That's on the court. Off the court, I've known him since I was 10 years old. That friendship can carry over to the court as well. Kevin, it shows on the floor.
Oh, that's a great story. David, thank you.
Kenny, you and Mad Max, Vernon Maxwell, made for a great guard duo. I mean, I got so many stories about Vern because when I used to work in Houston when I was an undergrad, I used to hang out with him.
Oh, man.
Wasn't always wise. But which backcourt partners top the list for you these days?
Harden and Westbrook are at the top of the list, obviously because Curry and Klay Thompson was hurt. But, you know, Lillard and McCollum, you know, even though they didn't have a great year last year, they're right still at the top. After that, it's up in the air.
I would, and I consider him a guard, but I would put Tatum in there with Kimball.
Oh yeah, I would. Yeah, it's hard to see. I think of Tatum as a three.
As a three, that's true. But they play him and Brown
but
together.
They play them together, yeah.
With Hayward, so.
And now the Golden State Warriors starters. Curry and Klay, the Splash Brothers, in the backcourt. Draymond Green is out there with Chris, and it's Prez in at the three, a small forward. And for Houston, Harden and Gordon are out on the wing. PJ Tucker is out there with Robert Covington, and it's Westbrook in at the point.
And that'll start us off already. You can feel the tension in this arena.
Boy, I tell you, you're right. You can feel this one looking like it's going to be a tight one throughout.
So many combo guys in the backcourt now, Kenny, but there are still a few traditional style point guards left, and they're sure fun to watch.
Yeah, you still got Rondo. You still have Mike Conley.
Yep.
You know, obviously CP3. These are traditional point guards that think.
And it's the Warriors taking it the other way. Here's Prez, and he uses the glass on the layup. Prez has got his second bucket of the night.
Defensive play like that goes a long way, establishing the attitude you want.
A little over a minute 30 into this first quarter. Covington finds Harden. Drops in the tray.
Have to rush Harden off that line. He's downright lethal from out there.
The Warriors have gone 2 of 5 here, making 40% so far to start out the game.
And you think about the toughness of Klay Thompson, a guy who wants to try to play through every injury, even before the ACL tear in the 2019 finals.
Wow, you know, after the tear, he came back into the game and shot free throws.
Wasn't that amazing?
Oh, man, the toughness of this guy, man. He's one of my favorite players of today because he does so many things in the game unconventional. He scores without dribbling, and he defends without being physical.
Now, here's Covington after Eric Gordon's miss. Here is Harden. It's good. It's his second basket. He's shooting 2 for 4.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
Well, this early, they should be showing a lot more energy on defense. It's not there.
And now here's Chris. Prez way outside. Rebounded by Covington.
And this quarter, he has clearly been off the mark.
In the corner, it's Gordon. Off target with his three. Last outing for the Rockets, it was a loss to Memphis.
Yeah, I mean, on the road, they're deep.
Oh, what a finish!
A team-first player. When Thompson notices one of his guys is uncovered, he is willing to get it to him.
First quarter of play, we're about 3 minutes in. Harden against Thompson. Gordon kicks it to Tucker. Three-pointer, good for the basket. Starting off 1 for 1 with that shot.
Tell you what, for a guy who's inconsistent from three, Tucker's showing you he can be scary out there at times for a defense.
And a ton of incredible guards, certainly during your time. Which players gave you the biggest fits when you tried to guard him? Who were the most difficult guys?
Well, I didn't have to guard Jordan, but I know
Tim.
Warriors have gotten 8 of their 13 shots to find the bottom of the bucket. Here's Prez, and finished off by Prez.
My goodness, that was absolutely filthy.
Ugh, nasty. This building is stunned. He dug deep.
Even though it's a point-blank range shot, that's not an easy one, especially when the defense is that tight.
Kenny, always fascinating to get your take. We sure appreciate you coming by.
Man, it's great to be here, man. Thanks for having me, man. Happy to be here. This is the best.
We've got more in store for you right after this. And earlier, we spoke with Klay Thompson about the value of someone he's known a long time, Draymond Green.
I realized how easy it is to get looks from him, using his big body, coming off screens. Him being able to stretch the floor, knock down threes is such an underrated factor for us.
Greg, you think about the championships they've won for the Rockets. Gordon's checked in for DeMarre Carroll. James Harden comes in for Ben McLemore. And Russell Westbrook is subbed in for Austin Rivers. Then for the Warriors, Klay Thompson, he's checked in for Andrew Wiggins. And Prez is subbed in for Steph Curry. Greg, we hear this a lot. It's almost too popular now to say good offense beats good defense. Being a defensive-minded player yourself, do you agree with that statement?
Absolutely, Kevin. And the thing is, in today's game, when I played, there was an era, you could hold teams in the 80s and 90s. You could go a quarter and keep them at 12, 15 points. You can't do that now. It's different. You've got to be able to win stretches of 2 and 3 minutes. And honestly, you're right. The offense does dictate far more, but it doesn't discount the importance of defense. And if you still look at the reigning champs and the teams that have won titles recently, that's still one area that they're consistent in is their defensive approach.
Setting the floor for the Warriors. Klay Thompson is out there with Eric Pascal. Then there's Prez. And it's Looney in at the 5. All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin. The Rockets last season traded Clint Capella for Robert Covington. The front office felt it was a move they had to make to go from
quarter.
And obviously his momentum from the last game has carried over here tonight.
And that's how it goes with him. I mean, his hot streaks, guys, don't last minutes. They last days.
And that concludes the first half. Warriors ahead, up by 6. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks, guys. Andrew, what do you like about the way the team's playing so far?
We're competitive right now. We're going after it. Our possession, we're going hard.
Thanks for the great interview, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of basketball.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello, basketball fans. What a pleasure it is to bring you into the 2K studios again. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. And that's all we have for now.
And after a fairly even first couple of quarters, the second half could turn out to be a great one as both teams try to gain an edge. You look at Prez in this game, he's been everywhere.
man. How about the amount he's contributing in the scoring column through 2 quarters? He has been terrific.
And you know what? They've come at him a few different ways defensively, and nothing has slowed him down.
Westbrook and Harden, the dynamite pair. They're the backcourt. Robert Covington out there with Gordon. And it's Tucker in at the center position. So that's who's on the floor for the Rockets.
Yeah, you know, Gordon feeds off being the aggressor. He wants to be in attack mode and really make it tough for the defender to dictate what he's going to do.
All free throws good from Eric Gordon. Greg, as a young player, one of your mentors was Patrick Ewing. How valuable was that to have that kind of guy tutoring you, mentoring you as you were just getting in the NBA?
I tell you, he was the consummate professional and really an incredible leader by example. This guy spent infinite amount of hours in the gym in the offseason honing his craft.
To McLemore. Harden with it. Ray, compare the times when you played as an NBA player with a lot more contact and a lot was like go on the floor to what we're seeing now, when there seem to be a lot of whistles, a lot of stoppage of play.
I mean, there's no doubt about it. You know, you got to allow players to defend. And if they're in a legal guarding position, let them do their job. You know, eliminate the cheap ones. Part of the issue, though, partner, is now so much of the game is played on an island, right? You don't have the crowds that you typically would see guys in back in our era. There's more space. The court, in that sense, is bigger. You're out there kind of on your own, man. And these guys are crafty at drawing fouls.
It's never been harder for a defender.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest, just a total obliteration, if you will. And you can safely say mission accomplished now for the Warriors.
And this was one that never really was in doubt, I thought, an all-around dominant performance. And you kind of thought that maybe even going into the game.
Yeah, there was a sense of that. And man, they just pretty much blew them right out of the water. A clinic was put on display here today.
And with this effort tonight, grabbing their 8th win of the year.
And they'll take the win tonight, setting the tone in the first matchup of this 4-game season series.
And it will be a fight. When you see an opponent that many times, it's inevitable that those games take on a little extra added meaning for the players.
And one of the key components to this victory, if not the biggest, was the incredible performance for Preds.
Boy, he was absolutely relentless at the offensive end, guys. Smelled blood and went for it.
And another one falls. Amazing. 60 points. This guy cannot be stopped.
They've had no answer for him in this one.
2 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Good on the shot.
Just by nature of his style, Westbrook is going to draw contact, so he's got to be strong enough and focused enough to play through it. And he is and does.
Prez way outside. Can't connect from long distance. And here we go. Fast break. McLemore's got it. Westbrook kicks to McLemore. Harden inside the three-point line, and he drops that one in.
Love the speed with which Harden gets his shot off, timing his release beautifully off the pass. Nice stuff.
So we see the Warriors taking the game here. This was a very strong showing for him, Greg. Not necessarily a runaway win, but one they'll feel very good about.
And let's face it, anytime you can go on the road and win in the fashion they did, you have to feel good about it. Really an outstanding effort all the way around.
It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks very much, Steph. Congrats on the win. How does this team continue to be the most cohesive unit possible?
To me, it's a commitment that we know that that's going to put us in a good position to win every single night. Is if we bring the effort, multiple efforts at each possession, where you might get beat, but you got to get back into play. God's going to help you, you help him. We care about each other, so we want to make sure that nobody's left out to dry, and I think that's a big factor. And we're just relentless on the defensive end.
You guys have been one of the best defensive teams in the league the last few years. Thanks for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA on 2K Sports. See you next time.